Life will test you. It will press on your nerves, challenge your patience, and push you into moments you never planned for. 4, you will fail. Uncertainty, criticism, Zaulerzen, loss, pressure, and fear often all at once. And in those moments, the world will not pause to ask if you are ready. That is why the greatest skill you can control over circumstances, but mastery over your mind. Staying calm is not about avoiding emotion or pretending everything is fine. It is about learning how to stand steady while the storm passes. Calmness is a decision, Zaulerzen, a discipline, and a daily practice. When you train your mind to remain centered, you reclaim your power. You stop handing your peace to situations and people who were never meant to carry it. A calm mind sees clearly. It responds instead of reacts. It understands that chaos outside does not require chaos within. When pressure rises, calm becomes your advantage. It allows you to think wisely, speak intentionally, and act with confidence. Calmness is strength in its quietest form, and it is available to anyone willing to train for it. Your mind is always listening. Every thought you repeat, every belief you hold, every story you tell yourself shapes how you respond to life. When you choose calm, Zaulerzen, you are choosing clarity over confusion, purpose over panic, and strength over fear. This is not about being unbothered by life, but about being deeply grounded in yourself. When you train your mind to stay calm in any situation, you do not lose your passion or your drive. You gain control, grace, and resilience. You become the kind of person who can face anything without losing themselves. And that is a power no circumstance can take away. Zaulerzen. Calmness is a skill, not a personality trait, and it can be trained through awareness and practice. But many people believe that some individuals are naturally calm while others are simply born reactive. But this belief limits growth and creates excuses. Calmness is not something you either have or do not have. It is something you develop over time through conscious effort, self-observation, and repeated choices. Just like strength is built in a gym, emotional calm is built through daily mental training. At the core of calmness is awareness. Zaulerzen awareness allows you to notice your thoughts, emotions, and physical reactions as they arise. Most emotional reactions happen automatically. The heart races, the breath shortens, the mind fills with assumptions and fear. Without awareness, these reactions control behavior. With awareness, you begin to create space between what you feel and how you respond. This space is where calmness is born. It is not about suppressing emotion, but about recognizing it without being consumed by it. Practice is what transforms awareness into stability. The mind learns through repetition. Each time you pause instead of reacting, you strengthen your ability to remain calm. At first, this may feel uncomfortable. Silence may feel unnatural. Slowing down may feel like weakness. But over time, the nervous system adapts. What once felt difficult becomes natural. Calm becomes familiar and reaction loses its grip. Calmness also grows when you learn to regulate your breathing. Breath is the bridge between the mind and the body. shallow. Rapid breathing signals danger to the brain, while slow, deep breathing signals safety. By practicing intentional breathing in moments of stress, you train your body to remain grounded even when the situation feels overwhelming. This simple practice has a powerful effect on emotional control and mental clarity. Another important aspect of training calmness is changing the internal dialogue. The stories you tell yourself shape your emotional state. When the mind constantly anticipates the worst, calmness becomes difficult. Awareness helps you recognize these patterns. Practice helps you replace them with balanced, realistic thoughts. Instead of asking, what if everything goes wrong? You learn to ask, what is actually happening right now? This shift brings the mind back into the present, where calm exists. Calmness also requires patience with yourself. Training the mind is not a quick process. There will be moments when you react before remember to pause. These moments are not failures, they are feedback. Each experience teaches you where awareness is needed and where practice can be strengthened. Growth happens when you observe without judgment and continue moving forward. The environment you create also supports calmness. Constant noise, overstimulation, and emotional chaos may become difficult to sustain. Through awareness, you begin to notice what drains your peace. Through practice, you learn to set boundaries, take breaks, and create moments of quiet. These choices reinforce calm as a way of life rather than a temporary state. Over time, that trained calmness changes how you experience challenges. Situations that once triggered anxiety or anger begin to feel manageable. You respond with clarity instead of panic. You speak with intention instead of impulse. This does not mean life becomes easier, but it means ease. You become stronger. Calmness becomes your foundation, allowing you to face pressure without losing balance. In the end, calmness is not about becoming detached or indifferent. It is about becoming grounded and present. It is a skill developed through awareness of your inner world and the practice of choosing peace again and again. With time and commitment, calmness becomes less of an effort and more of a natural state. And when calmness is trained, it becomes a reliable strength that supports you in any situation life presents. So your response determines your reality more than the situation itself ever will, because events do not carry meaning on their own. Meaning is created by the way you interpret and respond to them. Two people can face the same challenge and walk away with completely different outcomes. Not because the situation was different, but because their responses were different. One may grow stronger and wiser, while the other may feel defeated and stuck. The difference lies in perception, choice, and emotional control. Life is unpredictable. Circumstances will change without warning. Plans will fall apart. And people will disappoint you. These external events are often beyond your control. Now, what remains within your control is how you react internally and what actions you take next. When you react impulsively, driven by fear or anger. You allow the situation to define you. When you respond thoughtfully, guided by clarity and intention, you define the situation. Responses shape emotional reality. Zawasan feathered 6ard. A stressful event can become a source of anxiety or a lesson in resilience depending on how you process it. When the mind immediately labels an experience as a failure or threat, the body follows with tension and fear. When the mind views the same experience as temporary or instructive, the body remains steadier. This shift in response changes not only how you feel, but how you move forward. Your response also influences relationships. Conflict itself does not destroy connections. Reactions do. Harsh words, defensiveness, and emotional withdrawal can turn small misunderstandings into lasting damage. Calm responses, active listening, and patience can transform tension into understanding. In this way, your response determines whether a situation becomes a problem or an opportunity for growth. Mental habits play a major role in shaping responses. The mind tends to fall into patterns, often reacting based on past experiences rather than present reality. Salon awareness helps you recognize these patterns. Practice helps you interrupt them. Instead of reacting automatically, Salant, you learn to pause and choose a response that aligns with your values. This choice gives you power over your experience. 1001, your response also determines your sense of identity. When you consistently respond with strength, patience, and clarity, you begin to see yourself as capable and resilient. When reactions are driven by fear or self-doubt, identity becomes fragile. Over time, repeated responses shape beliefs about who you are and what you can handle. In this way, your reality is built moment by moment through choice. Thousands, and even in difficult circumstances, response creates direction. You may not control loss, failure, or change, 6,000, but you control whether these experiences lead to bitterness or wisdom. A response rooted in learning and self-compassion allows you to move forward with purpose. A response rooted in resistance and blame keeps you stuck in the past. The situation remains the same, but the outcome changes based on how you respond. Though training your response requires awareness and discipline. It means noticing emotional triggers and slowing down before acting. It means choosing curiosity over judgment and patience over panic. This practice does not eliminate emotion, it refines it. You still feel deeply, but you act wisely. In the end, life is less about what happens to you and more about how you meet what happens to you. Situations come and go, but your responses accumulate and shape your experience of the world. When you choose calm, clarity, and intention, you create a reality grounded in strength rather than circumstance. Your response becomes your power, and through it, you shape a life defined not by events, but by conscious choice. Emotional control creates clarity, and clarity leads to better decisions. Because when emotions are unmanaged, they cloud perception and distort judgment. Emotions are powerful signals, but when they take control, they can push the mind into extremes. Fear exaggerates danger. Anger narrows focus, and anxiety creates urgency, where none is needed. Without emotional control, decisions are often made in reaction rather than intention, and the results reflect that lack of clarity. Emotional control does not mean suppressing feelings or pretending they do not exist. It means acknowledging emotions without allowing them to dominate behavior. When you recognize what you are feeling and why, you regain balance. This awareness creates mental space. In that space, clarity begins to form. You can see the situation more accurately without the heavy filter of emotional intensity. Clarity is the ability to see what is real rather than what feels overwhelming in the moment. So when emotions are controlled, the mind becomes more focused and open. You can assess options, consider consequences, and think long-term. Decisions made from clarity are grounded in logic, values, and understanding rather than fear or impulse. This difference often determines whether an outcome leads to growth or regret. Emotional control also improves timing. Many poor decisions are not wrong in intention, but wrong in timing. Acting too quickly under emotional pressure can close doors that patience would have kept open. Emotional control allows you to pause. That pause gives you time to gather information, seek perspective, and respond when the moment is right. Timing guided by clarity often leads to better outcomes. Clarity also reduces internal conflict. When emotions are uncontrolled, the mind becomes scattered. Thoughts compete, doubts multiply, and confusion takes over. Emotional control calms this mental noise. It aligns thoughts and feelings, making it easier to commit to a decision with confidence. This alignment strengthens trust in yourself and reduces second guessing. In relationships, emotional control leads to clearer communication. Strong emotions can cause misinterpretation and defensiveness. When emotions are managed, listening improves and understanding deepens. Decisions made in relationships become more compassionate and respectful. This clarity helps prevent unnecessary conflict and build stronger connections. In high-pressure situations, emotional control becomes even more valuable. 136,000 stressful moments demand quick thinking, but panic blocks clarity. When you remain emotionally steady, you can prioritize effectively and respond with precision. This ability to see clearly under pressure is often what separates effective leaders from reactive ones. Emotional control also strengthens self-awareness. The balance by observing emotions rather than being consumed by them. You learn about your triggers and patterns. This insight allows you to anticipate challenges and prepare thoughtful responses. Over time, this self-knowledge enhances clarity in all areas of life. There's from personal goals to daily interactions. Better decisions are the natural result of clarity. When you are clear, you choose actions that align with your values and long-term vision. You are less likely to be swayed by temporary emotions or external pressure. This consistency builds confidence and credibility, both within yourself and with others. In the end, emotional control is not about becoming emotionally distant. It is about becoming emotionally intelligent. By mastering your emotions, you clear the path for wise thinking and intentional action. Clarity becomes your guide, and decisions become more thoughtful, balanced, and effective. Through emotional control, you gain the ability to navigate life with confidence, understanding, and a steady sense of direction. Those are $1,006 a pure energy. Calm mind protects your confidence and inner peace because mental stillness acts as a shield against unnecessary stress and emotional drain. Zalavanzard, when the mind is constantly agitated, energy leaks into worry, overthinking, and reaction. Calmness gathers that energy and preserves it. Instead of being scattered by every external demand or emotional trigger, you remain centered and steady, allowing your energy to be used intentionally rather than wasted. Energy is one of your most valuable resources. A restless mind consumes it quickly, replaying conversations, anticipating problems, and reacting to situations that may never happen. This constant mental activity creates exhaustion even without physical effort. A calm mind, however, stays present. It focuses on what matters now, conserving energy for meaningful actions. This preservation of energy leads to greater productivity and emotional resilience. Confidence also grows from calmness. When the mind is calm, self strengthens. You are less likely to seek validation or react defensively to criticism. Calmness allows you to listen without feeling threatened and to speak without needing to prove yourself. This quiet confidence is not loud or aggressive. It is steady and grounded. Others sense it, and it naturally commands respect. Inner peace is perhaps the greatest benefit of a calm mind. Peace does not come from the absence of problems, but from the ability to face them without inner chaos. When your mind remains calm, challenges feel manageable rather than overwhelming. You can accept what you cannot change and focus on what you can influence. This acceptance brings a deep sense of peace that is not easily shaken by external circumstances. A calm mind also protects you from emotional contagion. Thousands in a world filled noise, opinions, and constant stimulation. It is easy to absorb the stress and negativity of others. Calmness creates emotional boundaries. $236. You can empathize without absorbing, engage without becoming entangled, and remain compassionate without losing yourself. This balance protects your emotional well-being. Calmness improves decision-making and self-expression. When the mind is calm, thoughts are clear and communication becomes more intentional. You choose words carefully, respond thoughtfully, and act with purpose. This clarity reinforces confidence. As you know, your actions align with your values rather than impulse. Stress often weakens confidence and peace by making the mind reactive. A calm mind interrupts this cycle. It allows you to pause, breathe, and regain perspective. This pause creates space between stimulus and response, where wisdom lives. In that space, you choose how to protect your peace rather than surrender it. Calmness also deepens self-awareness. When the mind is quiet, you can hear your inner voice more clearly. You become aware of your needs, limits, and desires. This awareness helps you set boundaries. Boundaries protect your energy and maintain inner peace. Saying no becomes easier, and saying yes becomes more intentional. Over time, a calm mind reshapes how you experience life. You become less reactive and more responsive. Situations that once disturbed you lose their power. That confidence grows not from control over others, but from control over yourself. Inner peace becomes a constant companion rather than a temporary state. In the end, a calm mind is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It protects your energy from being drained by chaos, your confidence from being shaken by doubt, and your inner peace from being stolen by external noise. By cultivating calmness, you create a foundation of strength, supports that's every area of your life, now allowing you to move forward with clarity, balance, and quiet power. When you master calm, you become unshakable regardless of external chaos, because calmness anchors you to your inner center while everything around you may be shifting. Chaos thrives on reaction. It pulls attention outward, demanding emotional responses and urgent decisions. Calmness resists that pull. It keeps you grounded, steady, and aware, allowing you to move through disorder without being consumed by it. External chaos is inevitable. Life brings uncertainty, pressure, conflict, and sudden change. You cannot control these forces, but you can control how deeply they affect you. So mastering calm means you no longer allow circumstances to dictate your emotional state. Instead of being swept away by noise and urgency, you remain present and composed. This composure becomes your strength. An unshakable person is not someone who feels nothing. It is someone who feels deeply but responds wisely. Calmness allows emotions to rise and pass without taking control. Fear may appear, but it does not paralyze. Anger may surface, but it does not dictate action. Calm creates space between feeling and reaction, and in that space, power exists. When chaos surrounds you, others often react impulsively. They speak without thinking, act without clarity, and make decisions driven by stress. Calmness sets you apart. You observe more, listen better, and think clearly. This ability to remain centered under pressure gives you an advantage in every area of life, from relationships to leadership. Calm also protects your identities, can make people question themselves, doubt their abilities, and lose confidence. When you are calm, you stay connected to who you are and what you value. External noise loses its ability to define you. You are not easily swayed by opinions, criticism, or fear-based narratives. This stability builds inner strength that cannot be easily shaken. Mastering calm transforms how you handle conflict. Instead of escalating tension, you de-escalate it. Instead of defending your ego, you protect your peace. Calm responses often diffuse situations that would otherwise spiral into damage. This does not mean avoiding confrontation. It means approaching it with clarity and control. Calmness also strengthens resilience. When setbacks occur, a calm mind recovers faster. You do not waste energy on panic or self-blame. You assess, adapt, and move forward. This ability to bounce back is what makes you truly unshakable. Chaos may knock thousands, hundreds, 100,000, but does not break you. Over time, mastering calm changes your relationship with uncertainty. The unknown no longer feels threatening. You trust your ability to handle whatever arises. This trust creates confidence that is quiet but powerful. You no longer need constant reassurance because calmness assures you that you are capable. Calmness influences others as well. People feel safer and more grounded around someone who remains composed. Zoars 1,000, your presence becomes stabilizing. In moments of chaos, others may look to you for guidance, not because you are louder, but because you are steady. In the end, Sar Hansen, mastering calm is mastering yourself. It is choosing inner stability over external control. Chaos may exist in the world, but it does not have to exist within you. Salerzen, when you cultivate calm, you build a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. Regardless of what happens around you, you remain rooted, resilient, and strong. Valaundred, this is what it means to be unshakable. Zalozit. In conclusion, training your mind to stay calm is not about avoiding life's challenges, but about meeting them with strength, clarity, and grace. When you learn to control your reactions, your emotions stop ruling you and begin guiding you. Calmness becomes a skill you practice daily, shaping how you think, decide, and respond. Through calm, clarity emerges, energies is protected, confidence deepens, and inner peace becomes steady rather than fragile. External chaos loses its power when your inner world is stable. Mastering calm allows you to move through uncertainty without losing yourself, to face pressure without fear, and to respond with wisdom instead of impulse. In a world that constantly demands reaction, choosing calm is an act of self-mastery. It is this mastery that makes you resilient, grounded, and unshakable no matter what life brings your way.